fire.
Yeah, you know what song has been on repeat in this phase of my life is Scaredy Cat. And there's one bar that you say, it's time to show the world what you made of, and that's how I feel now. Like, you know, like you have this huge platform now compared to when we barely met you. And it's just dope how you're sharing it, first of all. Like, I'm super grateful for it, you know, and I'm sure everyone in the Bay Area is like super grateful you're from home or from here, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just really cool how I caught you right now, though, and you caught me more than anything. You hit me, you were like, let's do it, and whenever you want to, bro, I'm ready to do it. But it's amazing right now because you're doing something that has never been done.
Yeah, you hear me?
And the hip-hop mind of whatever I know of hip-hop, it just reminds me of the moment where Nipsey Hussle dropped a $100 CD and everyone thought he was crazy because no one thought they were going to buy it. Mm-hmm. Are you experiencing the same backlash? Like, what's going on?
You know what's crazy? I haven't been seeing nothing with niggas thinking I'm crazy. Like, there's more people who like, you giving this away. You know, like, people is like, this is worth even more. But it's also like, you don't know. You don't get the niggas who think you crazy until it exits that network and goes into the world. Mm-hmm. But it's like, we've already proven the concept. I'm 25 tickets away from being sold out. By the time this interview over, I'll probably be sold out of that first show.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Guaranteed. Not even probably.
Right.
Wait, what type?
At the rate you were going, yeah.
What show are we talking about? People probably don't even know.
This the $1,000 backyard experience. $1,000 for a show. Lifetime access to good company shows. Royalties in the live album. Equity in the doc sale. Dinner. Meet and greet. An unplugged set. Live Q&A. And you get to see your favorite artists at their childhood home. This has never existed in the hundreds of years of music. And in the 50 years of hip hop.
And he calling everybody who buy a ticket.
I've been calling niggas the last few days personally. This ain't been done in 50 years of hip hop.
Right.
Hey, don't hold this episode. We need to drop this one ASAP. Let's start getting the clip. We finna get it moving.
I got you.
You feel me? Yeah. This ain't been done in 50 years of hip hop, nigga. It took my little black ass from Vallejo, California to come and do something new. And Marathon Burger cooking at the show.
Damn.
That didn't even give me chills.
The alignment is crazy.
Right.
It's insane. It's insane. And it feels like that, you know, like this was literally a venture that dropped to me late at night one night, just boom. And it was like, I got to bring this to fruition. And yesterday, I forgot I even scheduled the clip of my walk saying like, hey, I want to do this show. I just scheduled it. And that shit went up and I started seeing the comments and it was like, damn, I need to go make I didn't even have it, you know. Yeah. I went and made it the same day and was like, we bringing this to the world just yesterday. And today, 150 tickets sold, $1,000 a ticket. Somebody bought a ticket for $2,500.
That's when your stuff is priceless. That's when you're able to do shit like that, right?
Insane.
Right. It's crazy because when we did the first interview, and it kind of ties into it because it really seems like not. So instead of you like, because at first it was kind of like if you have $1, you can come to my show, but now you're kind of reversing it to where it's like, nah, I'm gonna make this one a little more exclusive. So my question is like, I remember we did the first interview. You said you want to be as big as Drake, right? Is that still sort of the goal? Like, more than just Drake, do you want to be as big as someone like as Drake? If that makes sense?
I want to be as large as I could be for me. I think that's the best way to put it.
Okay.
I don't want to waste no potential.
Okay.
So as grand as this thing could get for what the universe has assigned for LaRussell,
yeah,
that's what I want to see come to fruition. I don't want to leave a stone unturned.
Right. Yeah. And I think, you know, I feel like because you're doing it independent, it's not even like in the same league almost, right, as Drake, because, you know, he got a lot of support as well. So it's like we playing two different ball games at some point, right?
Oh, God.
And it was so dope because, like I said, back home, bro, we see you as the guy, man. Like, you know, LaRussell's that guy, and rightfully so, you earned it. But it was just so crazy when you were able to go on tour with T-Pain because that wasn't necessarily home. And it was like,
right,
you kind of saw you like have to kind of earn the crowd a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it was just different. Like it really made it, you know, for those who maybe been following you for like the past year or so, it just really, like you saw that like early grind LaRussell, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So can you speak a little bit about what that tour did for you?
Man, that tour got my game up. It taught me how to hoop even more because, like you said, coming from home, I'm the guy. And it's like, nah, nigga, this is one of our best players. And then to get out there in a different league and still had to compete is like, oh, y'all know me. You know, like it's almost a reset. Like I'm back in 2021 me because they don't know me. I have to show them who I have to prove myself. When I go perform in Oakland and I do go get that bag, 10s, 20s, niggas know what's up. They rapping along. When I go to Waukee, Iowa, Idaho. Waukee, Idaho.
It was Iowa.
Iowa? Mm-hmm. When I go there, they don't know the words and the lyrics. You feel me? Like, I have to win. I have to educate them on who I am, what I do, and why they should support me in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and that's like a different ball game, I can imagine. So, did you ever get discouraged in the beginning of that tour? Like, damn, this ain't gonna work out for me? Or like, where you were just like, I'm gonna push through this?
Hell yeah. And we documented it. You know, me and the team had conversations because I wasn't doing bad, but I felt like I was doing bad. Like, I felt like I wasn't getting the response I should have. And also that tour taught me that different people around the world react differently than Bay Area people.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we are hyper supportive, you know, you could be ass and we gonna, you know, we gonna hype you and support you. But when you go in other places of the world, they don't have the same energy. Some places just witness. Yeah. They don't dance and move and yell, and they're just like, wow, what is this? They just kind of take it in. And for me, I thought that was like, they not fucking with me. But really, they were just consuming what I was giving. So it really just taught me how to, like, not lean on, like, the hype and the energy, but really just walk people. We start having the saying, like, walk it down. Walk the set down. Don't run. Walk. Talk to people. Communicate. Share. It really made me become a better artist. I learned how to not perform and how to put on a show.
Ooh, that was a
because at first I was performing. I'm jumping out, you know. And after I was like, I got tired of performing. It was like, damn, like they don't. But it showed me like I don't have to perform. I just got to go out there and do me and be me, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was really interesting seeing that from you because, like I said, to us, you're like our guy. So it was like, what? These people don't know who LaRussell is? Like, what? It's
Not
just a
at
matter
all.
of time.
Not at all.
You know? But it was dope because, like, once they did catch the energy, it was like, okay, you could see it's just been missing out. That's really what it is. It's not the product ain't good. It's just they don't know about the product. You know what I'm saying?
It made those wins feel different because it was like, you know, you earn that.
Right.
It's one thing to go out to a crowd that already knows you and you turn up and everybody know all the words and you have a great time. But when it starts with the crowd just staring to the crowd going crazy by the end, it's like, no, I earned that. And
man,
you know
Waukee, we got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Standing ovation.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it started off like, who is this guy? We're here for T-Pain, buddy. We are here for T-Pain, buddy.
God, he was asking
you don't
people.
sing?
He was asking people if they had a song recommendation, and they were throwing out other artists' names.
Sexy Red. I said, bro,
I'm LaRussell.
Right. What is this?
They would be like, bring out T-Pain. It's like, bro, I got 30 more minutes.
Damn.
And then by the end, it was a standing ovation.
And it's just like, I mean, it's funny now, but fuck, like in the moment, like, you know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, in the moment, it just had you like, we had several shows in that run where after it was like,
yeah,
I don't know if we got it, you know?
Yeah.
But we had a few too that was like, nigga, hey, like this us, you know? And that was the thing, going out there every night and having to convince myself that this crowd is here for me. One day, this is mine. This is my show, and I'm headlining, and they came to see me. They bought tickets to see me, so give them that kind of show. Don't give them a show like they came to see D-Pain, and they have to watch me before him.
Right.
You should, like, touch on the kind of, like, tips and tricks and things that, like, you started to use to really, like, put on that show instead of, like...
Yeah, I learned a few things, right? Order. Like, we start mapping out the set because I I don't never have a set, right? But what I started doing is we still didn't have a set, but I would pick certain songs. I would pick a flow. Like instead of just hype, random song, I would try to I do hype, I do some life shit, I do some singing shit, I'll do a cover, just some shit that everybody know, and then I spin that block. So it's like by the time I get to 8 songs, to doing that twice, I got 8 songs. That's my 30 minutes, 12 songs, that's my 30. And doing that allowed me to win everybody. Because when you just rapping, everybody don't listen to hip hop. So it's like I was losing some people. So when I lose them people, I'll come back and do I Won't Leave. And I get all the people like, wow, we like Matt, we love these singers, so that's why we here. And then the niggas who like, I end up doing Cage Story, and I'm getting them niggas who out there who from it, and like, man, I needed that one. And then I go do a Moment for Life or Can't Believe It. This what y'all here for, and do my own rendition. And now to get everybody involved because they all know this song. So they gonna support me, not because I'm me, but because I did something that we all love and enjoy. And that was a technique that I learned through witnessing pain and watching. And it's like, okay, give something for everybody and take them on a roller coaster. We can't just jump for 4 songs. We need to talk to, we need to sit down, we need to sing, we need to be able to kumbaya. Like you got to give all of that. So just that run really taught me like how to up my game. I was just dunking prior. Now it's like I could dunk, I could shoot the mid, I could shoot the 3, I could lay up, I could pass. I throw your shit out of here. It's like you increase your arsenal of skills.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was amazing to watch. So how do you feel like it? Because you just came off your own tour. So how do you feel like it helped you? It helped prepare you for that tour, and then like how did that tour go for you overall?
Yeah, it definitely helped prepare me for that. Even in terms of like tickets, like I did Columbus, Ohio because I went there with T-Pain. And I sold out Columbus. That was one of the shows that went like that. And there was people in there who like, we seen you with Pain and yada, yada. So it prepped me also just like understanding what it's like being on the road that long and how tedious that is, what that feels like, how they do routing. One thing we experienced with Pain is he took care of everything logistically. When you got to do it yourself, I spent $15K just on van travel, going on our own, 20 on lodging, like food, like I came back 100,000 less. I didn't win from going on tour. I benefited, but I didn't benefit, fully from going on tour. Like you come home with less, but what was beautiful is I was able to leverage all of the capital leading up to tour. You feel me? So, man, but I just learned how to hit the road.
Yeah. Damn. Honestly, I wouldn't expect you to say that you didn't get the turnout that you wanted because, I mean, you were pretty much selling all the venues you were going to, right?
No, they weren't all sold out.
Okay.
I mean, a good probably 50% sold out.
But you also, like, the way that he routed the tour is he would do 2 shows that was, like, guaranteed markets that we knew people knew him, and then we did a new market that we weren't sure how it was going to
So
sell.
when I routed it at the top of the year, I told myself I'm going to hit my main markets, but I'm going to also add a city in here that I've never been to, but I see them on data, so I'm going to just try. So cities like Boise, cities like Columbus, there was a few cities that Toronto, there was a few cities where the data didn't necessarily say people love me there and will sell it out, but it was like, I'll try it because I'm going to hit DC and Brooklyn and those going to sell out and take care of it,
Yeah. Damn, that's smart. So you're a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Trying new stuff out, but doing stuff you still know is going to work out.
And it helps doing it that way for artists because anytime you have a light show and you go into like a sold out show, you can rebuild that morale of feeling like, damn, that didn't really, go how it planned because you don't have to deal with that consistently. It's like, okay, yeah, it was light there, but I know here it's sold out and I'm gonna get that energy.
Right, get it right.
And on the back end, it keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
Whereas because a sold out show every night, the chaos, like it could really convince you that you're like more than human.
Yeah.
And then you go into a room that could fit 700 and it's only 100 in there, which 100 is a lot, but it's like,
nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think that's why we love independent artists. It's like it's just something about that fight. Like we see you fighting every day, and even with this whole $1,000 show, it's like, sometimes like I took a break myself from this podcast thing, but I'm just sitting there and I see you post something. And I'm like, okay, finally something that gets everyone excited. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're very, very, very good about that. You have the audience, but you also help us have something that you're going towards, and we're coming with you type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that this 1,000, like that's why I'm excited as fuck that you're doing this now. Everyone wants to see, like, can he do it? Can he not?
Man, we did it in 2 days.
That's crazy.
It's just hit like 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like this is really, it's insane, monumental, and it's history. Like that's the thing that, like, we're living in a historic moment. And you the first nigga to get there. I came here first, which is crazy, you know, because we've been texting about it. But I woke up and I was like, I'm finna go fuck around with Sammy, you know. Yeah. And this is history. Like we living through it and witnessing it.
Yeah, facts. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. So let me ask you this. I mean, you've gone on tour. You're doing $1,000 shows. You're about 30 years old. Obviously, that's still young. But what is your peak starting to look? Do you feel like, can you even grasp your peak? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's motherfuckers like Ice Cube where I don't think he has a peak. But there's some artists where it's like, you know, maybe the music is all they have. What does the peak kind of look like for LaRussell? Are you even thinking about that yet?
I just had a call earlier. I called a fan who bought a ticket. And she was like, I just found you last Saturday through an Instagram ad. And I think you're going to be the greatest artist ever. She bought a ticket to the $1,000 backyard show. She said, I just want to know how I can support you more. She just found me. When's the last time an artist went from I just found him to you're my favorite artist ever and I think you're going to be the greatest thing? You ain't had that since Kendrick Cole. You know, I haven't had that experience in a very, 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 very long time. But I gave this experience to her in 1 week. Bro, I don't have a peak.
We were just talking.
It's the only peak I got.
Right.
Right. No, that's very true, bro.
We've spent all week going to like business meetings and corporate offices and all this stuff. And we were talking about how LaRussell is the tree, right? We have this saying like LaRussell himself is the tree. Mm-hmm. And all of these things that he does are the branches on his tree. Music and business and, you know, all the stuff. But his tree, it's like, you can never guess how tall a tree is going to grow or how long it's going to be standing there. You know, it's just going to keep growing. It's going to have all these different life cycles, but that tree going to be here longer than every person on this planet and then some, you know? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's really what LaRussell is like, even if he's not going after it anymore, what he's done will outlive everything. Yeah. And so to have a peak on history is kind of, like, they still talk about.
That's not fair to have a peak on you. Yeah. We don't want a peak on you.
You ever drive, like, certain places and you're looking on the side and it's those trees that are just, like, you're like, damn, how did that shit even get that big? Because it started as a seed. Right. But it's like, man, it literally just got that big from being here, from showing up, from being here every day, showing up every day. That's the only way it gets that big, because it's here and it's present. And it's active. Every day it's here. It's growing.
Yeah. And the thing about the tree is that trees, they grow roots underground, right? And I feel like those grow even bigger. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you're doing.
Right? You know how big the root is to hold up a tree that big above ground? You need some shit anchoring below. And you right. The roots is even, but that's what it is. Like, my roots is Vallejo. The reason I'm able to do $1,000 show and the world deem it worth that, and it's like, I'm going to go travel across the country. Someone's coming from France, and that's worthwhile because my home showed up for me first. You know, I gave my shows away. Still, you know, like, I got a show in Martinez Sunday. That show only generated $6,000 total. Nigga, it cost me $6,000 just to go to Martinez with all I bring. You feel? I ain't make no money off there. Right. I'm just building community. That's free. Yeah. Niggas don't even understand that, bro. I've been giving away my product for free. But it showed the world like, man, he got product. He got a crazy product that's worth something. And that's something special. Like, even at my point now, it's like, yeah, I just did $100K revenue on one show, but I'm going to do a show on Sunday that I'm only making $6,000. That I really didn't make $6,000 for. That's gone. That's to the venue and the crew.
Right.
I ain't make nothing. You feel me? And that's the story it is. Like, at every level I'm at, I'm still doing that. On that road, we lost a lot of them shows.
Yeah. But it's like, then what, because I feel like there's, just in general, not even artists, but I feel like there's people who don't even have that in them to be able to do something that they're not profiting off financially. So why do you care so much about the culture? Because
I am of it. It's like, it's like someone like, why you care about black people? Nigga, I'm a black person. You feel me? It's like, I am the culture. So if I don't care and niggas just disrespecting the culture, where that's gonna lead me? If I let all these niggas ruin the neighborhood and ruin the block and sell dope and sell drugs and ruin these shows and all this, what is gonna lead me? When people like, I no longer love hip hop. I don't listen to that shit no more. Now I have to re-win a 60-year-old person who grew up on hip hop, who loved this, and this was his life at one point. I have to resell hip hop to him. And he like, I don't even want to hear it because I know what
Yeah.
Like, that's because we've allowed niggas just come in the house and treat it however. You feel me? So for me, it's too important and too substantial and too impactful to allow it to be ran down. Hip hop changed my life. That's very impactful. Donald Trump, no rappers. Barack Obama, no rappers. I don't give a fuck what position you in life. You know a rapper. At least one.
Right.
You feel me? Like, it's too impactful. What we do, what we bring, the stories we tell. So, the ones that are the ones, like, it's too impactful. It could change too many lives. For her to find me last Saturday and be a super fan within 1 week tells you how impactful this is and how much you could change the world and a nation for us to just treat it like a hustle or like the dope game or like prostitution.
Yeah, but respectfully, I mean, some people's like, they just don't care enough like you do. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe it would have affected LaRussell a lot, but I think what you're saying is just like hip hop affects us in ways we don't even know sometimes. So it's like, how could you not like actually care about that shit and let anybody just run that motherfucker?
Some people, some of us have better lives because of hip hop. Like, man, we had a meeting with like a homie who always come to the shows and was going through some shit in his life. And he was just like, man, the one thing I refuse to let the world take from me is this. Like, this is my piece. This is where I get my piece to go do more, to change my life, to be a better parent, to be a better homie. This is where I come get that. This is what religion is for some people and what church is and what God is for some people. Like, this is their light. This is the thing that they see as like, man, as long as I have this, everything will be okay. I had someone tell me they're so grateful that they come to our shows now because they used to just rot at home. That was the term they used. Like, that's what described the feeling.
Right.
Like, bro, that's too impactful to not treat it like such and to not give it what it's worth.
Yeah, and we're grateful that it's, you're doing your part. You just had that showcase last week with, artists. And it's like, you don't have to do all this. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's cool. And you're giving someone like me a fucking platform, bro. And it's just like, you don't have to do shit. Like, I'm not no Breakfast Club. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do this shit. So let me ask you this, because obviously, we see the $1,000 show, and you're going to make whatever you're going to make. But like, if you were to I drew out a pie chart. I don't want to bring it out and like have you drawn it and shit. But like, if you were to kind of like break it down, like, where does the majority of your financial income as this great independent artist that you are, because I think we can look at Drake and all that and like be like, okay, they're getting their mainly from the labels and this and that. But for you, like, how much, because you just said you went on tour, you didn't profit too much. So where's the money really coming from? Is it from the streaming? Where's it really coming from? The brand deals?
Everywhere. So streaming, I stream about right now like 6 to 8 million streams a month.
Okay. And
so that could be platforms? Anywhere between 30 to 50 grand a month on streaming. But I give everyone shares in my catalog. So out of that 50,000 a month, I usually get like a 10 to 12,000 payout, you know. And this is more reason, like, as it's growing. Yeah. So just the past few months, my streaming payout's been like 10 grand, but it's generating like 50, 60 across, you know. Splash directs and he gets 1,000, you know, through that. So streaming is one. Bookings, like shows like that I'm not doing myself, bookings in a year, every year I probably get at least like 1 million in bookings, you know, like high 6 figures, 1 million in bookings. And out of those bookings, say, depending on where we going and what we got to do, as of late, it's tougher because my show has scaled. So when I get booked, I spend a lot of that just, you know, putting the show. Like Outside Lands, they gave me 25 grand for Outside Lands. That, like, I had 40 people in a bus and you know, it's like that shit white. You know, but depending on where we got to go, you know, out of that booking fee, we cover our own travel, lodging, airfare, food, however long we got to stay. And then we'll probably walk away with 40 to 50% of that. And then it's my own shows. I throw my own shows. So like a highly successful show that sold out and didn't have a guest and all that, it's like you get to walk away with like 10, 15. My shows lately, I don't get to because it's like I did Great America with Juvenile. You know, that show generated, I think, like 70, 80,000. I didn't make no money. I gave Juvie 50. I got to pay Great America 35. Team, you know, it's like that was none. Like all the In Good Company shows I did this year, Life Jennings, Webby, Mike Jones, I didn't make no money. And I knew I just did. You know, it was like brand building. It's like I'll build it to, well, next year I will get some money. But I lost on all those. But if I go local, like if I'm just doing Oakland and we sell out, I win. You feel me? I get to pull it, and it's a good one. And then we got brand deals. Brand deals are pretty good. Like Crocs, when I did my Crocs deal, they gave me a nice chunk to really just do content, promo.
Give out Crocs and shit, yeah.
Gave out Crocs to the hood, shit like that. We got syncs. Syncs could be high and could be low, but the dope thing about a sync is like if people discover your music, it becomes perpetual because they just listen to it over and over. But sync deals could be really high. You can get a high fee, like 10, 20, 30. And you get some, it'll be a huge thing, and they only giving you like a rack, but you know, you get all the exposure from that. Gold cards. I sell gold cards all year. I sell stock in the songs all year. This year was the first year I really did features. Like the first portion of the year, there was some day I was in that living room. I'm knocking out 10, 20, 30. And the minimum I was taking was like 500 up to 5,000. So, you know, 20 at just 500 with 10 racks. So it's like the features I was doing a lot of merchandise. You know, merchandise is huge. When that shit popping and running, that motherfucker going. And those are like, I think, the main avenues of, you know, of revenue. And then there's always new shit that we're creating, but those are like all the avenues that if you're an independent artist, you should be monetizing off these.
Word. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, as you build a platform, those opportunities start coming up more, right?
Yeah. They increase. They increase. The brand deals increase. Like now I have more brand interest than ever, you know, and what's crazy is you build all year and you lose and you miss these opportunities. Like last year I did a lot of shit where I lost money, but All-Star ended up coming out here and everybody wanted to book LaRussell. So during All-Star, it was like I made 6 figures just in that span of a weekend because all that shit we did and lost, people was like, oh, that's LaRussell though. We need LaRussell, you know? So Super Bowl coming back this year, and that may be another time where everyone's like, we need LaRussell, you know?
Yeah, you going to perform at the World Cup too, brother. You going to go global, internationally.
Oh, God.
Man, and it was so great because, you know, your marketing, man, like we got to study your brand where like, I feel like you constantly coming out the next marketing scheme. And like, obviously like Tiny Desk was amazing, right? And everyone fuck with it. But it was just like, brother, you already turning around selling your jacket like the next day.
You hear me?
You auctioning that shit out. Like when everyone's still celebrating, you're still able to capture that momentum. Are you like super like intentional with that kind of stuff?
I really activate on flow. Like when I have an idea that I love, that I feel, I'm a move on it, you know. Before I throw it in, I let a nigga buy my towel. You feel me? Like that jacket was one of those. It's like everybody, hey man, that jacket crazy. Oh, is it? How crazy is it? You feel me? It's like one of those moments where you can't miss the commentary. Like, don't miss the commentary. If they telling you what they want, give them what they want.
That's a product of really being involved. Like they're not just fans. It's a community. And when you really are involved in your community, then you hear what people are talking about. I also wanted to make sure that it was noted. It's very rare that people make money off their Tiny Desk directly. Like you don't get paid.
We don't get no money to
be on Tiny Desk.
You spend money to do that,
and you go to Tiny Desk for the exposure, so that way people know you, and then they want to book you. But what he did was like he got the exposure, and regardless if somebody else booked me because of it, he got himself paid off Tiny Desk through those jackets, which is like,
right?
Man.
Because they don't pay you to do that. You got to pay your way, your travel, your airfare, and I'm going with a band, you know, like all of the food is all on your tab. So you might but what I did when I did Tiny Desk, I had planned a show. I ended up booking a venue, and it was like, while I'm here, I'm gonna do a show, and we end up selling like 700 tickets that show. Like 26, 27 grand, you know, like it ended up generating where it's like, all right, this made the trip worthwhile. Then we got home, the jackets went, it's like that jacket went viral. I sold a shit ton of jackets. Then was like, bro, they love this. Let's do a whole line. Hats, beanies. We got a new piece coming that's stupid too. But it's like monetizing on all those moments that people are talking about. Like she said, that when you in it and you paying attention and you listening, it's hard not to hear it if you listening.
Yeah.
Y'all listening?
Y'all listening?
That's hilarious. Man, so would you say LaRussell as a person has always thought like this? Like you've always like on 10, like the next. Because I feel like it's easy to kind of get caught up in the moment because sometimes it's like, for example, I'm sure, I mean, obviously Tiny Desk was on your goal, but like maybe like when you barely started rapping, like you knew you're something you wanted to do, but it wasn't really there yet. You know what I mean?
No, before I made it, I had underutilized intellect because I grew up in the hood. No one ever pushed me to be greater than I was acting. You know, no one ever was like, hey, that skill should be here and you need to use it for this. So I was kind of squandering it in a way and wasting it because I didn't have nothing to put it towards. And when I finally got into like the workforce and I started working around other people that I was working, I'm lazy in essence. So I always find out how to do something more convenient for myself. So wherever I'm at, I'm going to find a strategy or a way to make it work better for me, which optimizes the system for everyone in it. And that's where, my mind started working and I started being even of more benefit. And when I got to the point where it's like, I'm going to work for myself, that's where I was finally at that point. But prior, no, because you don't get cultivated in the hood. Like you don't get challenged to really, really use your brain or your logic or your problem solving skills only in like, it's used in a different form of interaction versus like invention or innovation.
Right.
It's like bro who sell dime bags and then he move up to selling full blown packs and shit. It's like, damn, you're a great business mind, but
you're a great salesman.
Yeah, you using it for the wrong tool. You using your superpowers for evil instead of good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I hear you, and it's like a lot of times you're more focused on surviving than actually like innovating, right?
Exactly.
So it's like you're not using that same tool or whatever that part of your brain is or whatever it is. So can you, because I've watched a lot of your interviews and I've always really wondered, like, can you really paint the picture of what your life looked like right before you quit your job? Because we have the GT Coupe, you got rid of the car and then like you said, you felt like you wanted to go back to your job. So like, what did your life actually look like? Like how much body of work did you have? How many viral moments did you have? And then like your team, like why were you so confident that you were going to make it at that point?
From 2012 when I graduated to about 2018, I was just like working on music passively, but like kind of lifing, like just working, but like squandering my time and my efforts and energy. Like I was still drinking alcohol, you know, and like I wasn't fully utilizing myself. You know, I was just growing. I was a kid, like learning. And then 2014, when I got into like the aerospace job on the floor, I was in kind of a different world of people. Like I had to learn how to talk. I remember I was on emails for like some shit, and I sent the email. My boss came out and was like, "That's not how you talk to people." You know, like that you need you need to learn how to say what you, because you could say you have plenty of words to use,
right.
But you need to learn. You know, so I start having to maneuver different than being able to say, "Hey, nigga, come." You feel me? Like I had to learn how to do that with people who don't know what I'm saying, but so it taught me how to communicate in a different form. And as I scaled up there, I started learning systems and sheets and just data and how to, all these things that you don't get here, So now I'm like, oh, I'm good at this, right? And just making music passively, and it didn't really click for me to like take this shit serious until I did Field Effect. And I was making Field Effect all through like 2017, just like making songs, not even with no regular intention. And 2018, I just finally was like, man, I'm gonna put out a project. Like I'm gonna put out a solo project myself, and I'm gonna just see what happens, and just start rolling after that. And I caught a creative spark, and I was just Never Forget Who You Are, Field Trip, Love Fight Love, Field Trip 2, Truly. Like I was just in a mode. I started hitting that spark, and then the pandemic hit, and that shutdown caused me to get more creative because I was going into like a more depressive slump, and it's like I gotta figure something out, how to do something. And we start doing the live sessions, and that start rolling. Now I'm hitting 100 CDs, 200 CDs, my content going, my moments going. And yeah, it just kind of snowballed. It just never stopped building after that.
So it wasn't necessarily like a specific viral moment. It was just all the body work that you were doing that made you like more confident.
I had a few early viral moments. Like online, there's like a GIF? The video one, there's a GIF of like Young Bari doing a Get Low in front of the like Giant Stadium. It's like everyone in the baby using that shit. I shot that. That's my company. Like we filmed that live session.
Damn.
And that's like a renowned GIF. Like when I post videos, niggas be having that GIF in my video.
Right.
No one knows that though, but that's like the work I was doing. I shot that. So I was having viral moments like that, and then me and Tessie had a viral moment with The Way when I wrote Field Trip, and we did the Way session, and there was like a few moments just sprinkled, but nothing that stuck enough for me to be able to like, I didn't know how to capitalize on those. When Tessie started going viral, I started learning how to run ads, and we really started being able to build her base, but we ain't had no paper to really take it there. So like I didn't know the game to capitalize on any of that. And even when I finally got 2021 freestyle to go, because I seeded it to Rap Marathon, I didn't know what to do after. And nobody who came in showed me like, hey, you need to do this, take your 10 and send it there, put it in there. Like all this I was learning through trial. So it wasn't no moment that really stuck because I didn't know how to make them stick. All I knew how to do was make new ones.
Please. And then you look at the song you just made with Lil Jon now, and you're like consistently putting that motherfucker out, right? Yeah, so you learned your lesson type of thing.
You learn as you go. You learn as you grow.
Yeah. No, because it's funny. Jazzy just was talking about. She was like, "Yeah, what's that one song?" And I was like, "How'd you come across it?" She was like, "Oh, I just seen it like on Instagram Reels." I was like, "So it's working," Oh
God, man, the fact that lady told me I just found you Saturday from an IG ad tells me everything's working. Because when you run an ad, you know it's working, but you don't know it's working until somebody say, hey, I got it from that. And it's like, oh, it's working.
Right.
For her to find that ad cost me, the CPC was probably like 50, 60 cents. And she gave me $1,000 in 7 days.
Crazy
Run them
ROI.
ads.
That's a
Crazy
crazy
ROI.
I mean, and that's the ROI on a lot of my ads, because if you come across me and become a fan, you're going to want to support. You're going to want to come to a show. You're going to want to support. So the CPC for it is just like, it's justifiable. And sometimes it takes longer, but it's justifiable. You know, I know in my heart, if I spend 30,000, 40,000 in ads, I'm going to make 120. I might not make it back that month or 2 months. I might make it a year later, but I know I'm going to make it. And sometimes I just have to make those decisions based on that.
So the paper's always flowing, but what you really want is you just want to capture enough parts, right? That's like what you're doing with the advertisements. Because it's like essentially you're saying like, fuck the bread, like that shit gonna come and go because they gonna spend it and I'm gonna spend it. But as long as like they become a real supporter, that's when you like really start building pillars type stuff.
Exactly.
And it becomes cultural currency. It's like you become a factor in people's day to day, and you become like, people want to grow a following, but they don't have nothing to like capitalize on their following for. You know, like they can't sell merch. They're not selling tickets. They're not selling stock, gold cards, all this, and getting brand deals for it. So it's like most people, if you're running ads on your stuff, you don't really know how to like get your money back for it.
Right.
But LaRussell has so many streams of income where people can reinvest. Once they find him, it's like, you know, the money gonna come.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, but when.
Right. Yeah. Damn, it's just and where's that balance? Because like I have this book called The E-Myth, right? And he basically, and you said the word systems earlier too, and I feel like when I learned about it, I was like, yeah, everything is a system. But how much as an artist do you throw in creativity in there as well? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just systematize LaRussell, or can you?
No. That's literally, we've been in meetings with Empire and with, you know, all of our partners. It's always been like, you know, we need to know what's coming and what's flowing and create us.
Right.
And it's like, you can't. You have to be able to act on the moment as much as I'm acting on the moment. So it's really hard to develop systems around something so natural and organic, but you got to know what to do when it happens. And that's the system you have to have in place. And that we've learned, you know, when it happens, what do we do and how does that look?
So is that part of the problem when you go and sit in front of these labels? Is they don't really like that? They want to know exactly what's going to come, when it's going to come?
I don't think they dislike it. They're just not used to that. Like, you know, we just had to have deep conversations and long convos of like, oh yeah, this is new for us all. Most artists are worked in a cycle. They say on cycle, off cycle, album cycle, off cycle. I don't have a cycle. I'm like, bro, I'm here 12 months, work me 12 months. Fuck the album. That's one thing that LaRussell does. You know, so when you come into something that has a traditional way of doing things and then you do something new, it's a bit disruptive because nobody really knows what to do. And if you don't tell them what to do, they'll just do anything, you know? So it just, I'm learning as an artist now, as an indie artist going into like a system that has all this, like, oh, I have to communicate. I have to speak to this, bro. I have to do more on my part to make sure they know what I need and want for somebody who they've never done this kind of work for.
And I'm sure that's a process in itself. Like, because do you ever feel like that's kind of like holding you back or hindering you at times where like, damn, I got to go let this person know about this, or basically have them get it so then I can do it. You know what I mean?
I used to.
Okay.
But now I don't. Like, I get to, and I take pride in that. I'm happy to go to the office and holler at everybody and let niggas know, hey, this what we need, this what we own, this what we got to do. You know, like, it shouldn't be a burden. And yeah, previously I've looked at it as a burden because I'm like, you should know. But it's like, no, the fuck, you shouldn't. Right. You know?
It's never been done before, so it's like, how
could you?
Yeah.
Especially when it's like you're going into a system with people who do this for a living and you are living it for a living. Right. And you want them to market your life. So it's like you should want to go in there and communicate with the people that have been doing this for a long time who might know something that you don't know. And of course, you know everything they don't know about you. So communicating that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do that, it's like you don't really want it. You're going to say you want it, but you don't really want it if you're not willing to go over there and talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they're just there to support you mainly, right?
Right, and they can't even really do that because they have no direction. You know, they have no playbook, but you want them to go out there and run a play.
What did Tina say? She said, you got to work the building. Don't wait for the building to work you.
Okay. See, yeah, This is all like
you got to work the building if you want the building to work you.
There you go.
Okay. I see. Yeah, damn, I could just imagine like LaRussell Pop in their office, like they gotta be like, what's going on next?
And
like,
that's what I've been learning. Like the past 3 days, I've been up at the Empire building, just like working on hollering, just and I see the morale difference, the smile. Hey, this is my first time meeting some people, and I did a deal there in January. So I didn't do my due diligence, but I didn't know. I'm an indie nigga. I ain't even never had support or help. So I'm just like, I'm going to run my race. Y'all do what y'all do best. We do what we do. We'll see y'all. But it's like, just being there these past 3 days, I see the difference in like people and their desire to, and they fans. You got to think these niggas who work jobs, right, but they're fans as much as somebody else. And imagine it's like, I'm a fan and I'm working your product, but I never speak to you. I never meet you. I'm like one of the very few artists who's at this level who like, hey, yeah, and they know me at a personal level and they from the Bay. They want this win too. Like it changes the entire dynamic of the relationship.
And they actually have great ideas. Like, especially when you go in there and you communicate like the seed of an idea you have, you'll walk out with a full blown tree. If y'all just be in there brainstorm, we could do this, we could do that. And next thing you know, you got the whole thing planned out. And that eliminates another call where you got to go in after you brainstorm the whole thing. And now you got to go try to retell it to somebody who wasn't a part of that process. If you build it with them, it's so much easier to get it done.
That makes sense. So right now, are you kind of working with Empire?
Yeah.
What do you have going on with them right now?
I have a project deal with Empire.
Okay.
But beyond that, like, so I went to him. We had a conversation towards the end of last year. Like I seen Ghazi at a shoot, and previously I didn't fuck with Empire. Like I didn't like them niggas. I always loved them, but I didn't like them niggas, and that's been known. And same vice versa, like they knew how I felt and they felt how they felt. And we did the shoot for P-Lo and Ghazi was there, and I just pulled him to the side and like expressed all that. And he shared how he felt in his opinion, and then we ended up going in the office and having deeper convos with Nima and everybody. Like I had to speak with everybody who I felt some way towards or about and explain what it was and why. And they explained theirs, and we really was like, we all want the same thing. We just all feeling different based on this. Y'all have all the infrastructure in the Bay, and y'all want to have an artist who is premier and does all this stuff. And I'm an artist in the Bay who needs infrastructure and is premier but don't have it. And we both here, but we like,
right,
bitch. It's like that's how it was. Yeah. And that didn't make no sense. How y'all breaking all these artists globally and y'all ain't break the nigga who from here on the soil putting it in? You feel me? And it didn't make sense to nobody. People used to come out and ask like, why y'all ain't got LaRussell? So we had to really resolve all that and communicate as like humans and share how we feel. And after that, I was like, man, we need to do something. Like, I know that y'all have the resource and infrastructure I need, and I know I got what it take. So let's utilize it. And I was able to work a deal where I do some projects with them, but I get to keep doing what the fuck I do too. It's like when it's time and y'all feel ready and we doing it, we're going to do this here. But in the meantime, I'm not going to stop my motion. I'm finna keep going and keep building. And just like I say, being there these past few days has been like really, and since I've been in the system, I've seen good and bad. I've seen benefits of being in there, and I've seen like, oh yeah, this ain't for me. This ain't what I like. But it's been really beautiful for us to grow together because they're also learning of how to deal with an artist of this caliber. Like they've had huge artists, but not a LaRussell, not a nigga who gonna come in the office 3 days straight and be like, nah, you doing my digital wrong. It's supposed to be like this. I don't like that. I don't want, ain't no fucking artists do that. Right. They don't even, it's hard to get artists to even talk to like the workers, type shit. Yeah. So it's a new experience for us both. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have the help, like these past few years, I've spent millions myself. So to have a partner who is like, man, we can match this. Let's figure it out. I'm grateful.
Damn. And Ghazi, he's from the Bay Area?
He's from Frisco.
Yeah, so it's amazing being able to see the whole team like really work together like that. You know what I mean? Because you said they have the resources, and Empire is the biggest label out of the Bay Area, right? Music label.
Yep.
So it's like, why not? And it's just, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so let's say if we were to break down your career, let's say the biggest deal so far, would you consider like the first one being the Russ deal?
My biggest deal?
What do you mean?
Okay, yeah,
what do you
maybe
mean
like
by
staples. Yeah, maybe like staples, like
Okay.
Like
you know what
important
I mean?
deals.
Important deals. Sorry about that. Yeah, Russ. The way I saw it, it was Russ, Live Nation, and now Empire. Am I correct or incorrect?
In order of importance,
Yes.
it was Russ. It was Russ. It was NPR. It was Cobalt. Live Nation. Empire. No. Vidya. Live Nation.
Okay.
Empire.
What did you mean NPR?
JR. We did I Hate When Life's Going Great with JR.
I
Yep.
forgot that's what that was called.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Venice too. We got to shout out Venice.
We ain't get no, but that wasn't no deal. We didn't really do a deal. We did work.
Oh,
we worked on
just
them, but we
partnered
didn't
with
do no
them. It
deal.
wasn't a
Yeah,
deal. You right.
yeah.
You right. My bad.
But Venice was
Venice.
helpful. Like we learned some game, and we got Venice.
Isn't that how we ended up at Create? Was because of Venice.
No,
My bad.
I was working with Create way back. They like that's where I got the ad game from. Like, and then no. Venice was really good though, but we didn't really hyper benefit from being in Venice system. Like what made you say that?
I was thinking of Create. For real.
Hilarious.
Because those happened at the same time. And I remember that's when
Yeah.
we ended up at like meeting Mark and all the other stuff. But I didn't know they didn't have any correlation.
Yeah, I think the order I ran it down is the ones that really were like staples in what we've done.
in hindsight, you wouldn't change it, or would you?
No, I wouldn't change it at all.
Is there anything you would change? Let's say looking back at like, let's say even like 2021, 2022, when like the years where it was like you were really peaking off. Like, would you? What would be something you would like go back and change if there was anything?
There's a few scenarios where I would have communicated more, because I could have positioned myself better to get what I was trying to get, but I didn't know how to communicate back then. Like I was working with United Masters early when they first started working with Big X the Plug. Like I remember we did a thing in Austin and it was me and Big X the Plug who like we had our own installations through them with Intuit and all of that. And you know, they would have worked me in the same fashion they was working Big X the Plug because I was that, but I didn't like how that Intuit deal went, and I didn't know how to communicate any of like, hey, I don't like how this feel, and I don't like how y'all handled this and this, so I just kind of did it in the way I knew how. Like, I'm a nigga from Vallejo, and I handled it like a nigga from Vallejo. You feel me? So that, and then the Rock Nation deal, I didn't have the tools to communicate. Like, hey, I feel like you playing with me when you did that. Why did you do that? What is that? Because I want to work with y'all. Like, y'all mean something. Hove means something to me.
Right.
But this don't feel. It feel like, you know, I handled it like a nigga from Vallejo would handle it. Like, you know, in every instance, all those situations where I didn't have the skill yet to communicate through and resolve the issue I was having, I would have done differently.
And what caused you to like, what caused that growth? Was it, because before was it like, I'm the artist, this is my shit, I'm going to take wherever I want? Or like, what was the mindset before compared to now? Like, what caused you to change that mindset?
The mindset prior was just, I was more egoic. It was like, bitch, fuck you if you don't understand who I am and what this is. Now it's like, I'm going to educate you on who I am and what this is because you don't know. Like now I assume ignorance. You know, sometimes I assume malice, but most of the time I assume ignorance. It's like, you don't know. But back then I assumed malice.
I see. Yeah. And that's what you mean by somebody from Vallejo. How you would handle stuff, right? You were more on like on the defense compared to like one.
Exactly. Instead of trying to resolve it, I was just like, fuck you.
Yeah. You know what you have. So at this point, it's like, because what you know, good company has always been like on the forefront, right? Because you were actually like, you were also putting out a bunch of artists while you're like on the blow up, right? And it's just like, first of all, I was like, how are you doing that? You know,
Still.
Right. So what is good company now? Like, what is your vision for good company? And like, how do you separate good company from LaRussell now? If that makes sense.
I don't really have to separate it. It separates itself.
Okay.
You know, as it grows and scales, people find a liking and they find community. Like, good company is the community that you experience when you become a LaRussell fan.
Okay.
The giveaway, the charity, the love, the energy, the spark. Like, good company is literally the community that rallies around what we do and the energy that goes into what we do. So I don't really have to separate it. It does it, you know, however it does it. And the vision is Disney. Disney, Amazon, Apple, Sony, Walmart, you know, all of the greatest brands, Nike, in one. You know, like, we're just building a world that impacts culture in the way that we see fit. You know, one day I want to control the messaging that the world receives from what's hip hop and what's R&B. You know, I want to be the guy at the label that says this one goes to radio and this is why, and this one gets to expo, and put her on the award stage and throw. I want to be the one who controls the narrative and helps decide what people receive when they hear hip hop and they hear R&B and they see our people. I want to help control what that looks like and what that feels like.
And you're starting off with the Bay Area.
I'm starting off with the world.
Okay. I hear you. No, touche. So where do you see, just like on a general, you know, level, like where do you see radio going now? Because you're saying you want to have an input and stuff like that. Because a lot of people kids nowadays, I'm pretty sure they don't really listen to radio. I listen to radio because I drive all the time, like, you know, but where do you see radio going? Do you see it going away?
No, hell no.
No?
Radio is mass communication. Okay. Like, if I play a song on the radio right now, no matter where I am in the world, millions of people hear it. No matter where. As soon as you put something on the radio, millions heard it.
Right.
Millions. Like the radio, like millions in every single state. Like, think about if you were to take like a drone and be able to go all the way up out of the state of California and see all these people in their cars, you'll see see a pie graph of like who's listening to radio, who's listening to Spotify, who's listening to radio. Yeah. 25% of that would be radio. 25% of the population, maybe even more, because older people, you know, they do. Okay. But, you know, 25% of billions is a lot. So every time you own the radio for any amount of time, there's the possibility of millions of people finding you.
Yeah, that's true.
That's still, and that's a nigga who can have 10,000 followers, you know, like it's uncharted. So it's still a different means of communicate. It's like the news. You know, when I'm on the news, people hit me like from different places in the world, like, yo, I've seen you on the fucking news. You know, like, bro, the homie was just in Rhode Island. It was like, I seen this nigga on the news. You feel me? Like that if I'm growing a following and I'm from the Bay, a nigga in Rhode Island not gonna see me for a minute. I'd have to really, really go viral, do something, but they could do that in the click of a button.
I see. Yeah, so there's still, because my question is just like, you know, radio, especially with podcasting and stuff, you know, you kind of like wonder that, like, what's the ratio between people who actually listen to radio still and then podcasting? Because you look at like Howard Stern, you know, how he used to be like the king of like Sirius XM or whatever, but now you got motherfuckers like Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of wondering if that's how it kind of is with music, or if people like, you think like people are forever going to listen to radio. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it is a form of technology.
You forget too, like every grocery store, every apparel
Background.
store,
Background.
every restaurant, every
hotel,
hotel, like they still are listening to radio stations all day.
It's just
long.
on.
I see.
It's just on.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes you hop in a Uber, you hop in a taxi. It's just it's on everywhere all the time.
It's always gonna be the default choice.
I see. Yeah.
Like if you can't plug up your phone, it's the radio.
The radio.
Every time.
Right away.
It's free. You go to the car lot and you hop in a new car. As soon as you turn it on, the radio.
I see.
You know, it's the world's default means of communication.
Yep.
That's why they use it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That I just had that question about.
That was a
like,
great one. Be especially in today's times because people think it's not important or value. Like we were just in a meeting and I was telling he's like radio isn't really worth it, but this and I said, do you really think you could put me on the radio and spend this amount and this amount of people hear me and it's not worth it? I don't give a fuck if they stream the song after. You don't think they're gonna love me? And figure, that means it's still there, it's still worthwhile because it's mass communication. And I think when you mass communicate anything that's great, you'll yield results.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah, so the name of the game is just, and you just dropped a clip about it, it's marketing. It's just about how many times you can really put your stuff out there, right? Like, how
many special times you could put yourself, but yeah, how many times, you see bullshit 10 times. I seen Munch so many times. I was in the house like, you thought I was feeling you? You feel me?
Right.
And that shit was ass. But when you see it so many times and it's mass communicated, like you still get that result.
But it changes the feeling you have about it. You might get the result, but it might not get the result you're trying to render. So, like, somebody might see you 10, 12, 20 times, but now every time they see you, they're like, I hate that nigga LaRussell.
Yeah.
Which is like 50 Cent said, whether you hate me or you love me, you still talking about me. But it's like, it depends on how you
but
you
know what? You get
you.
that result no matter what. Because there's some niggas who hate me.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you want to be marketed so people will stream your music, buy your tickets, buy your merch, love you, it's like you want people to enjoy what they're seeing about you. But if every time they see you, it's like, I can't understand why I keep seeing this nigga. It's not gonna yield an ROI.
Right.
Except for hatred, which is like, you don't want to walk around town and people are like, man, I hate that nigga. It's like, you want people to love you when they talk about you. So great moments. Is what you want to put out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the haters are going to be inevitable anyways. Right?
Inevitable, yeah.
But it's like, if you hate LaRussell, you hate yourself. That's easy. And that's easy to say because it's like he's given you so many reasons to love him that you had to look for a reason to hate him. But if he give you a lot of reasons to hate him, it make it easy. It's like, nah, you're not a hater or a weirdo because I hate him too. It's then now you got this nasty energy around your name and you don't want that.
Thanks. Man, no, I appreciate you doing this so much, bro. Especially right now because you're hot. You're hot right now, bro. You're doing something that's never been done, and that's what this podcasting shit is about and why I do this shit, bro. Is to make moments happen. And if we can inform these people a little bit about what you got going on, your mindset, like that's what this whole culture thing is about, right? So hell yeah, bro. I appreciate you. Even Tieta coming on. We didn't like ask you to, but we're still really grateful for it, if that makes sense. Like, this is something I've been thinking about for so long, so I'm so grateful we were able to make it happen. But I know, Mariana, you said you had one question, right? She said, you gonna let me ask a question, right? I said,
come on, what you got?
What was your question? We put it on the spot.
I didn't have a question. I just wanted to mention you're very humble.
Yeah, she said LaRussell's very humble, and yeah, for sure, bro. You think that's like homegrown? You get that from your parents, or where did that come from? You just been so low before?
I think it's partial from my parents. Like, my mom is like, and my pops, like, they're like, it's hard to not be grounded when like you grew up in like a real like cultural experience. Like, my family, like I grew up around niggas, like, and you only know what that mean if you know what that mean. But it's like, it's kind of hard to be jaded or act anyway because it's like, niggas gonna let you know, it's like I'm just like, I know who I am and where I'm from and what this is, and none of this can convince me otherwise. Like, I grew up rooted so much in that this almost didn't happen because I wasn't able to understand I had potential beyond just being who I was. You feel me? So, yeah, it's just like I can't really be no other way. Like, niggas, yeah, you'll know.
Yeah, they gonna let your own family and all those people who seen you be LaRussell at 2 years old gonna let you know really well.
On Jehovah.
Yeah. Damn. Other than your parents, is there anyone who's like really helped you out in your journey in that sense, where like they really kept you, maybe not like financially, but like mindset wise, like consistently like keeping you going?
Tieta. Like, it's very seldom you have people in your journey who will check you when you at the top, right? And check you in a way that like bothers your ego, but you can't be mad because you know they don't mean malice and you know it's real. And we don't often get that experience, right? You grow up around people like me and my mama used to have periods where we didn't talk because we didn't know how to communicate with one another, what we felt and what we felt. So it's just like, all right, fuck you then, you know? And that's a shame. That's a disservice. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, I have family members who've had conflict. It didn't speak and feel ways about it, and y'all can't even sit and communicate and share it and honestly, you know, like, but T has like, and it's something that I feel like we've learned together, but through growing this, she's one of the first people to come in who like I honestly in my heart felt like wanted this more than me at times and was willing to do anything it took. Like, there was moments I was down and like fucked up, like I can't move how I want to move. I don't feel good. I'm not even a nice person right now. Like, I don't even want, and she's still working on that shit. You know? A nigga be disrespectful, saying some stupid shit in my own space of lowness, and she's still working on my shit. I'll be like, fuck a nigga. I ain't helping with shit. But she don't do that because it's not just my shit to her. This her world and life that she building too. This something that she want, that she's after, that's like, no, you gonna be great because I'm gonna be great and I'm not finna be around no nigga who not trying to be great. We do that elsewhere, you feel me? So T and then Hirsch is like, Hirsch found me, what, 2021? 2022? Maybe 2022. Early though. Like, he's like, you know.
You like 2019.
Hirsch came in really early to my backyard. We were still pressing shit in the garage, you know, and he pulled up and we just talked. And he's like, man, I think you're dope as fuck. Like, I really believe you could be the greatest in the world. Back then, you know, on album number 6. And, you know, from that first trip, he's put his energy where his thoughts were. Like, I remember shortly after that, we ended up doing like my first LA show at the Roxy, like 300, 400 cap. And I needed a bus. I was taking the crew. Hirsch put that paper up for that. He was like, man, I'll sponsor this. I'll just fund out. I want to support you. That was the first time that I had somebody who was like, nigga, what? You gonna do what for? What do you want?
Right.
Nah, I don't even want to just, I want to see this come to fruition. And ever since, what you need, where we go, I want to see this come. He came with me on tour and Hirsch covered 30-40% of the expenses on his own card. You feel me? Like, he didn't have to do that shit, but he's just like, I'm here and I want to support. I'm going to take on this. I'm going to charge this to your shit though. This we know you, but I'm going to take care of this, right. this, you know, and the shit Ronin? Like that. Bro, my Ronin that every piece of viral content you seen, Hirsch bought that. Our first Ronin, Hirsch, I was at this nigga crib and he's like, man, what do you feel like you need right now that could change, you know, everything that'll help you get to the next level? And I was like, man, I've been looking at this camera. If I get this camera, I'm going to shoot 1,000 pieces and I'm going to change my life. He said, done. I'm going to order it now. You know, people like that. And he's seeing it now. Like, this an Indian nigga from jacking off Michigan, you know, like,
what?
Like,
wait, no.
But for real, like these are experiences that he never thought he was gonna be in the fucking Empire Office talking to Ghazi or meeting T-Pain or any of the. We was smoking with Snoop Dogg. This shit don't happen for niggas like us, you know, like we don't even imagine it as a child. And he come from a different world, tech and startup, and he's like, he had to tell them, hey, I'm investing in this rapper. You know how your tech and startup niggas look at you like, right. What do you mean you investing in a rapper? And now all of them is starting to see like, oh shit, like he found a startup early. You know, so it's people like him that really believed, and so many. Splash. Nigga, Splash, like when Splash came in, like Splash ain't really had shit to lose, but it's also like he didn't have to. He didn't have. You feel me? Like nigga, he come from where I come from. It's like we ain't had nothing, nigga. But it's also he put his life on the line to support the dream and vision I had for myself. He dropped everything he was doing and everything that he was like, man, this is what I'm after. And said, I'm going to come help you build this because I believe in it. And whatever you need from me, I'm going to do that. 24/7, 365 days, wherever I got to go, whatever I got to do. Sometimes it's low. Hey, the paper low right now. We got to go hustle. I can't take care of it right now. Fuck it, I'll figure it out. I'm still here. Let's go. You feel me? Like, people don't understand how much everyone has sacrificed to even be here. And it's like, I've taken care of so many people, but it's also moments where I couldn't take care of no fucking body. But these are people who still stayed there beside me and still made it happen and still showed up. And these are people who gonna reap them benefits when it's that time.
Jesus. And what do you think made all these people believe so much? Is it the same belief that you had within yourself? Like, it was like, no question? I mean, I would ask them, but
when you do unbelievable shit, you're really easy to believe in.
Okay.
That's it. We just closed. That's right. It. That closed it.
That's been an episode of Neighborhood Heroes.
Hey, this one need to come out immediately. Like, for real.